McDonald's closures in Russia cost the fast food giant $127 million in the first quarter. And when I look at this, nobody even talking about this today either, but how does this affect McDonald's from here on out? They've got a lot of money invested over there, a lot of equipment, real estate, investors, and now closing down, I think, 1,000 McDonald's in Russia. What does this do to the bottom line of McDonald's and the investors here in America? Russian fossil fuel revenues double despite Western sanctions. This on the Hedge last night. The longer Western sanctions isolate Russia and reduce energy supplies to European refiners, the higher energy prices will go. It almost seems like we're beginning to feel our own sanctions right here, and that Russia doesn't seem to really mind these sanctions. Again, I don't get political. I hate war. I hope that we get a peaceful resolution here quick, and I hope that we can all just get along and have global peace. But in the meantime, Poland and Bulgaria don't have gas. Russia's making a lot of money on this. And if you don't pay Russia in rubles, they're not going to sell you gas or oil. Energy prices are only going to go up, which means higher revenues for Russia. And it just goes on. Another article today, a new gold standard. Kremlin confirms intention to back ruble with gold and commodities. So while we continue to freeze bank accounts, while we continue to throw on these massive sanctions and seize massive yachts from Russia, it doesn't seem to be affecting them. We shut off MasterCard and Visa. They go to the SIP system. We don't go to dollars, or we freeze up dollars. They just say, look, pay us in rubles, pay us in gold. You don't get gas, you don't get oil, Europe. And how about this? First shipment of Russian coal paid in yuan on its way to China. So we are beginning to see a detachment of the US dollar where countries now are looking at other options. And it's not going to be very, very long before more countries like Saudi Arabia and India join the party here with Russia and with China. And we can thank ourselves for this, ladies and gentlemen. It's just incredible what we are doing. We are really forcing other parts of the world to befriend one another and to dump the dollar and to go into other currencies. And quite possibly, we're going to see other currencies backed by gold. This is going to take a lot of power and authority away from American control. And as I've said in the past, so many countries around the world feel that we've abused our power with the petrodollar and the ability to just print money to infinity. And it's only a matter of time before more and more countries begin to realize that, hey, there's other options out there, and we can go to a currency quite possibly backed by gold and not have the authority of the US breathing down our back. And if we do something wrong, we right now can go in and seize and freeze bank accounts in other countries. And countries see that as a huge threat. And again, this isn't political, but this is what's happening right now. And countries see this as a huge, huge threat that, just like Venezuela having their gold over the Bank of England, they're never going to get it back, at least not anytime soon, because the Bank of England does not like the current leader in Venezuela. And because of that, they refuse to, I believe it's 47 tons of gold, whatever the number is. It's a pretty decent amount of money. They refuse to give them back their gold. And I think that's a complete an atrocity when you think about it, because that's not their gold. That is not the Bank of England's gold. Whether you like a country, dislike a country, like the leader, don't like the leader, I don't think anybody has the right to basically seize and steal your gold. And this brings us back to, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Don't keep your gold or your silver in a bank. Don't keep it in a safe deposit box. I don't even really believe in keeping it in private vaults. Keep it in your own private vaults. Keep it where you can get to, because again, learn a lesson here with what is happening right now. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Fed's favorite inflation signal hits 40-year high as savings rate crashes. People are ignoring a very, very big problem here that nobody talks about on the television. We keep hearing how strong the consumer is, but apparently the consumer has no savings. The consumer is reliant on the credit card now to just go to the grocery store and put gas in their car or go to Vegas for the weekend. But the consumer is broke, and the consumer has no savings for the most part. And nobody's talking about this, but we hear about the real estate market and people that are in these homes right now who are never going to sell because they got a great deal on their interest rate. No, they're going to have to sell because it's all about cash flow. And when you have inflation running this hot and people have no savings and they're resorting to credit cards, it's a matter of time before the house goes. And many people right now who are in a house who got a 2.87% rate on their 30-year mortgage, they think that they're going to be okay until the cash flow stops. And they're looking at their savings right now and it's zero. And they are one spouse away from losing a job. They are one event away from losing it all because they are living paycheck to paycheck or credit card to credit card. This whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is on borrowed time, and it gives me no satisfaction, no pleasure, no happiness to be making these videos. And you know, I told my friend Matt, I said, look, I would much more enjoy making car videos and going to Cars and Coffee and driving a Ferrari around and making, you know, these car videos that people really seem to enjoy. That would be fun. That would be enjoyable. I would love to do that at some point, but this is not the time. There's so much going on, and I feel that I have a duty and obligation to continue to wake up as many people as I can. And this is just so important. You know, to me, you know, watching all these people in Vegas there for the NFL draft and just oblivious to what's happening. How many of those people who are there today just got their 401k demolished? And their home values, their home wealth, all this wealth that people have in their homes, this is going to be vacuumed right out of the system very, very quickly when the housing market begins to accelerate on a downhill slope, which it's going to do. Things are flattening right now. Price reductions, again, I'm getting price reductions every day. I had a price reduction last night on a small ranch in the South, reduced $251,000, another one $50,000, another one $40,000. It's becoming common. But this is just the beginning. This is nothing. I would not buy a house in this market right now. This is not the time. What's it going to look like 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now? We're going to see big changes. Gold demand surges in first quarter. First quarter gold demand up 34% globally. Gold was about the only thing today that was in the green. Everything absolutely destroyed. It was up about $20 to maybe $22 earlier today. They pulled it back down to like $3. But look, it's better than losing in these markets, in the cryptos that also really took a hit today. I'm fine with just being up a couple dollars in gold. Back over $1,900. Slow and steady wins the race, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the great thing about it. If I need to get that gold and take it anywhere in the world and cash it in or convert it into a currency anywhere in the world, I can do that. I can do that today. I can put it in my pocket and I can go and I can convert it to any currency I want to. In fact, next week when I'm in the South, if I want to take a couple gold eagles or gold buffaloes or whatever, put it in my pocket, I can go down to the South. I can find a coin shop, a precious metal dealer who buys and sells metals, and I can sell it for US dollars and do what I want, and nobody knows. But so again, markets absolutely crushed today. Gold was about the only thing up. But it was up over $20, but there was such a sell-off. People were selling everything, including the kitchen sink. Everything was up for sale. So gold came back to reality here. Your no annual fee credit card is costing you $700 a year, U.S. retailers say, and it's going up. These fees that you get using the credit cards. And I bring this up because so many people now are using credit cards just to pay for the essentials, to go to the gas station, to go to the grocery store, to go to the urgent care, to pay rent, what have you. And the fees are going up. But on average, your credit card is costing you $700 a year on average in fees. NewYorkEatery.com. More upscale New York restaurants reportedly tacking on credit card fees to bills. So now the restaurants are going to tack on even more on top of the annual fees that you're already getting. So it's going to cost you more and more to use those credit cards. So again, maybe cash is where it's at. And I must say, watching the destruction today, I felt really good owning gold, and I felt really good owning some US dollars. And I think I'm going to sleep pretty good tonight knowing that I can get to the gold, the silver, and the dollars when I need to. And right now, I think it's all about acres, precious metals, in cash. And that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to stay. That's just me. That's not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. A couple articles I want to close with here. And another reason why I must leave California, and I know people are very concerned that I'm not already gone and just believe that I'm never going to leave. And, you know, I think that a lot of these people live in their mom's basement, and this is not an insult, this is not an attack, but if you live in the real world and you're going to move 2,000 miles away and you have family and you have a business and you have obligations and you have to work out the financial side of things, you have to transport cars, you have to transport homes, you have to transport people, you have to find the property you want to live in, and on top of it, you're waiting for the market to really begin to correct. But people think like you should just move tomorrow or next week or next month. And if you've ever had to move, especially long distance, you understand that the logistics take time. And it's a very, very serious move. And I don't ever want to move again after this. And so it takes time. But I'm never going to buy anything in a bubble, like most of you would never want to buy anything in a bubble. But this is the time for me to really be out there looking now. I'll be out there next week, so make sure to tune in. I'll be filming it. But I will be in the South next week. It should be very, very interesting. I've never been to these places. Don't even know what to expect. But I'm getting the heck out of here. California to hike gas tax despite record high prices at the pump. That on the hedge today. So get ready, California. We're going to be paying even more. And how about this one? Southern California asked millions to cut outdoor water use amid drought. 6 million people were asked to limit their outdoor watering to 1 day per week. Disneyland is building a 455 room resort right here in Rancho Mirage, 5 minutes away from my house. They're building nearly 2,000 homes on the property on 700 acres, and they're going to build a 26-acre lagoon, a lagoon filled with water. So they're asking me to only water my grass or water outside 1 day a week, or wash my car, 1 day a week. So Disneyland can come out here, build a 455 room resort with multiple swimming pools in a 26-acre lagoon. I don't know how many millions of gallons of water that will hold, but it's just really incredible with what is taking place. So we're building resorts and lagoons and a golf course that needs more water, and more people living here that will consume more water. So I should cut my water use out so Disneyland can come out here and use up all the water. In closing, Good article today by Michael Snyder. Is the U.S. going to transition from stagflation directly into a full-blown depression? You know, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't produce anything for over a year, when you pay people to stay at home, you print $6, $7, $8 trillion to do this, so you can hand out unemployment checks, stimulus checks, triple P loans, etc. You're going to get a full-blown depression. We have watched inflation spiral out of control. Now we have the stag part of stagflation. Shadowstats.com pointed out if we were being honest with the numbers that right now with the U.S. economy, we would be in a recession right now that started back in the beginning of the health crisis. Let me repeat that. Shadowstats.com is saying that if we were being honest with the economic numbers, we would already be in a recession that started back before the health crisis. I'm going to leave it there today. Markets absolutely beaten down today, destroyed, vaporized. I don't know about you, but last week on Friday, we were down almost 1,000. Then we're down again, 800 points. Then we're up 600 points. And today we're back down over 900 points. I can't even keep track of the volatility. These are huge numbers. This is not normal. These markets are going down. I don't know when it's going to happen, but they are flashing red. The Fed is at a dead end here, and there is no way out of this. This thing's going down, and they know that these markets are going to go down. And you know what? They're going to help the markets go down because they're raising rates in May, in June, and throughout the year. And I don't think they're turning back. I could be wrong. Many of you think that they will turn back. I don't think they can do that at this point. If they do, this country is done. The US dollar is done. The petrodollar will be done. They have no choice now but to get very aggressive. They need to start raising rates 1 full percentage point at every one of these meetings now to get ahead of this. Inflation, look, we are still so far behind. Once they raise rates 50 and they do 75 in June, like they're saying, we're going to still be so far behind. But it is going to really hurt the economy. It's going to hurt the credit markets. It's going to hurt the stock market. And it's going to do absolutely nothing for inflation unless they really, really get aggressive. But we have a lot of debt to service. These credit markets are going to seize up. That means businesses, especially small business, are going to have a very, very difficult time borrowing money. Housing market, look, 85% of all these home sales are mortgages. It's going to seize up, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have some money, I would be putting it away right now because some big sales are coming. It's going to be coming in luxury watches, luxury cars, real estate, land, commercial, residential, you name it, multi-unit. We're going to see some really incredible sales